Hello everybody, happy Thursday. Welcome to the stream and another day in Azeroth. Thank you guys very much for being here. Mr. Santa, Magnus, Valerie, Tim, Barton, Mendy, Towan, JP, Eags, John, Lael. Welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're all doing well today. We are going to start things off by heading back into Felwood. We're going to grind up a little rep and maybe be able to turn in a couple of quest items that we picked up yesterday. So today's goal is quite simply to hit level 55. That's really the only goal. However we do that, whether we do a bunch of grinding, whether we do some more questing in Winter Spring, I don't really mind how it gets done as long as we accomplish that much. Ooh, it's raining in Felwood. You know, I didn't know it could rain in Felwood. This makes the zone look very different. It kind of loses that greenish yellow hue that it had. And now it actually looks a lot more like Darkshore. Alright, so I think we just come down here and we can start killing these Furbolg. Pretty sure we just want to farm these guys. We also have a quest item we have to get to back here, but I guess this is like a pretty big pull. So unless we're feeling particularly brave, or unless another player comes by, we'll have to see if we can accomplish this. Am I going to jump down here? Yeah, I feel like we can. It is a big pull, and it's a cauldron we need to click on. Okay, well, we'll go have a look at it and we'll see. Maybe we can do the trick where we tag one of them, we try to leash the rest of them, we kill them one at a time that way. Sometimes that works. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna eat this last piece of buff food. Sharpening stone we can't use right now because we have a mace. And unfortunately, we don't have any more fire water. Guitar Junkie, good afternoon, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Oh, God. So we have to be careful with the Den Watchers. The Den Watchers are the ones that call out for help. And the range that they have when they call out for help is a lot more than you would expect. Like, I'm even kind of worried he can get to this guy. But it looks like we're fine. Alright, yeah, I see the Cauldron. I don't think we could handle that by ourselves. We got an Avenger, a Shaman, another Avenger. We have the Winterfall Runner. This is a level 57. And then a Watcher. Yeah, I don't think we can do this unless another person comes by. Oftentimes, like, people farm these for reps, so maybe we'll get lucky. We could try to kill them one at a time. But Leashing has been acting really weird. There's been a lot of times when I thought enemies should be leashing and they just haven't been. So I don't even know if I can rely on that tactic to actually work. Okay, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. So the idea is I put damage on one guy. We're gonna pull all of them, but then we're gonna try to leash them. And then if that works, we do that over and over and over again. Question mark, question mark, question mark, profit. But we have to hope the others leash, and sometimes they don't. And we really can't let them all start hitting us. Okay. Okay, yeah, they're still they're not leashing like I thought they might, so yeah, that's a problem. Okay, they're still not leashing. They just don't seem to have a leash. Oh dear God. And I kind of get the idea, like, they're picking up aggro off the guy we're hitting, but historically this has worked. We did this a lot in hardcore, and I'm just like, I'm very confused why it doesn't work anymore. Like, okay, oh shit, okay. Look at this, we still have the Shaman, like, yeah, like, this makes no sense. This makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Like, they should eventually leash. They should not have infinite leashes. Every mob in the game has a leash that only lasts so long. Like, I don't get it. I guess we're probably not doing that quest. That's what we just learned. We're not doing it. In fact, like, maybe I would be better off going down here and farming the lower level guys. Isn't this like the same down in this area for this rep? Because, yeah, I would probably be better off just farming guys that were lower level. If it's the same guys. Sod broke it. Yeah, great. Great. Another Sod legacy. I wonder how many changes to vanilla, to classic era have been made because of Sod and because of hardcore. Like, how many irrevocable changes that like ultimately make the game worse, that are never going to get repaired, and that we just have to live with forever now. Like, it's kind of disgusting. That's why they need to be on different they need to be different clients. Like, each version of the game needs to be on its own client, so it can be updated and patched and maintained independently of any other version. Just like how Cataclysm and Classic Era are like different, like every version needs to be different. Hardcore needs to be a different drop-down, SOD needs to be a different drop-down, they all have to be different clients. Because it's getting pretty stupid. Maybe my red aura, you know, a lot of them weren't even able to hit me, but maybe. The only one that should have been close enough to actually hit me should have been the one that I wanted to keep. But I guess anything is possible. Patrick, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. Buffalo Bill, good afternoon, happy Thursday, and welcome. Buffalo Bill, thank you so much, man, for the 28 months. That's a very, very long time. Much longer than we've been streaming for. You might be the original member. Because, yeah, 28 months is about twice as long as we've even been streaming, so that predates the streams. It's crazy, man. Thanks for being here. I'm noticing my holy light is healing for basically nothing. Yeah, it's probably time to train pretty soon. Yeah, we probably want to train soon. I probably should have already trained. I probably should have, like, trained last night off stream and got it all taken care of. That would have been the smart thing to do. Blood Moon, good afternoon. I'm happy to hear that you're doing okay in Orlando. That's awesome. We got someone else handing out gold. It's very generous of them. Very, very kind. Yeah, I realized that we have the curse reducing our heals by 50%. Curse of the Deadwood. Yep, that'll do it. That'll make your heals seem really weak. I don't really know if this is a great farm area or not. Like, the problem is, we don't have enough mobs that are not part of big packs. And, like, ideally, when we're farming something, I want to be able to move from pull to pull. I don't want to have to, like, hunt for my next mob. I want to be able to, like, I want to be able to know what mob I'm targeting next. And with all these big groups and them being so close together, it makes it kind of rough to farm here and feel like I'm gaining any kind of momentum. Yeah, but I'm mainly farming XP, to be honest. Like, we're trying to get the rep up, so the rep is a goal, but I want to be focused also on getting XP. Especially at the level that we're at. We're getting to the point where we're down to like the last handful of zones that we'll have to go to, so like, yeah, a big focus is XP. What I'm wondering is, I know there are lower level people down here to the south, like lower level furbolgs. Is that the same rep? Because I would almost rather come down here and fight these guys. They were lower level. I think the pulls were a little bit better, and even if we pull 2 or 3 of them, we can handle that because they're lower level. But I don't know if they're also Deadwood or if that's like a different tribe. The main reason I'm trying to get the rep up to friendly is because or at least to neutral, we have a couple of quest items. Items that started quests that I can't turn in until we have a certain rep. So that's my main impetus for farming up the rep. They're a way lower level. Yeah, like I'd almost rather have them be a way lower level. Obviously the XP per kill is not going to be as good, but these guys up here are pretty nasty. Well, they were like level 47, weren't they? They might be gray by now, actually. They might be, some of them might be getting close to going gray. Did I recreate the rogue on this server already? Yes, I did. Yeah, I recreated the rogue the first day that I transferred here. So they're hanging out at the inn. They might even be in Stormwind. Either way, they're getting rested XP. And I don't know when I'll be ready to restart the rogue. We got to level 15 on the other server. We were making pretty good progress, and I might just be waiting until this character hits 60. And by the time this character hits 60, that character should have like 100% rested XP, the most rested that they could possibly get. Which will only be like 2 levels, or like a level and a half, but yeah. We're on the Mankrik cluster now, which is PvE. Yeah, I thought about doing the weekends, but it's like repeating history. Like I just did that. I just did the Saturday stream. We got the. I'm gonna wait because I'm not ready to do it again. I wasn't like, the thing about the rogue was like I was never ready to start the rogue And like the biggest reason I ended up starting the rogue in the first place was to have something to do when we were getting stream sniped. So like my entire impetus for starting the rogue when I did was ultimately like something out of my control. And then I did the weekend stream because it just seemed like we were gonna have to have the rogue in rotation, because I thought, well, you know, we're gonna every day we're gonna have to play the rogue as soon as these assholes get out and start stream sniping me. But I was never actually ready to be on an alt. I just kind of got like forced into doing an alt. And so I think I'm just gonna let it wait until we hit 60 on this character. And then we'll see what we want to do next. We still have like a long way to go to 60. I know it seems like we're almost there, like we're in the home stretch, and like we are in the home stretch. But it's still a lot of hours. Especially because I'm doing stuff like this and constantly hindering myself by just playing like an idiot. Just beating up bears with a baseball bat? I mean, it has spikes on it. To be fair. This sounds like a typical Sunday for me in real life, except usually I'm just clubbing baby seals. Do I wear the same armor? No, but I do wear the crop top. I should have enough corrupted shards for a turn-in. Okay, and that turn-in, that's one of the quests that's down here, right? Oops. Yeah, maybe I should head back that way. We also have quite a few of the headdress feathers. We have 18 deadwood headdress feathers. So maybe we can go, maybe we can go turn that in. Maybe we can turn in the quest, turn in the rep items, and just see where we're at. Either way, like, we don't have to do it now. It's gonna be apparently it's gonna be a long grind. Just to get to neutral. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be a while. And so once I turn in the corrupted shards, like, what does that get me? Does that chain into, like, another quest? Is it just the 4,700 XP and that's over? Is there a good reason for me to go do it right now, basically? It's a lot of running. It's a very long, it's a long run. Oh god. Is it worth starting to play now? No, it's way too late. It's way too late now. It gives me the plant salve for the other quest, and then the plant salve I have to find those are the plants that are on the ground that we can click that I can't do anything with right now. I've seen one of those plants.
I just got my mask.
Nice.
Just got my hornet mask.
Low-key terrifying.
Yeah, I actually, Mom was not, thought it wasn't here, and I went upstairs to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
And then I go outside, grabbed the package, went back inside, opened it up.
You're grabbing packages now?
Yeah.
Great. How'd you know?
Because I knew it.
How'd you know?
Because it wasn't like I knew it couldn't be anything else.
Okay.
Because it was the packaging.
Cool.
And I felt it through the packaging.
So now what else? We're waiting on the sword still?
Yes, but now that I have mostly my full custom, I don't need a sword because I have my stick so me and my friend.
You have your stick.
Yeah, anyways, I'm not, that prop sword I'm only gonna use for a dress up.
For Halloween. I think we also need to fashion a way for you to wear that sword on your back. Because you're not gonna want to hold the sword while you're trying to hold your trick-or-treat bag.
No, I can have this sword like this, then have my trick-or-treat basket like on that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll figure something out.
Or maybe I can just get the wooden stick and just do that. It would make me look even cooler. And play Hollow Knight.
Are you done with your school for today?
Play Hollow Knight. No.
Alright.
But play Hollow Knight. It's such a good game.
Alright, get out of
You
here.
already haven't.
Skedaddle.
You already have.
Love you. You should get back to your work,
play
okay?
It now. Play it.
Yeah, he's gonna be Hornet for Halloween. He's gonna be the character in a game that, from what I understand, hasn't even released yet, and in fact keeps getting delayed over and over again. So, yeah. What gaming mouse do I use? The mouse I use no longer is made. I have the G600, Logitech G600, but sadly they don't produce them anymore. And I don't know what I'm gonna do when I have to replace this mouse. There's a Corsair mouse that's pretty close to this mouse. This one has 12 side buttons, and I use 9 of them. So I absolutely need like basically all the buttons. But yeah, I'm essentially hoping that like. I mean, let's be real, like, how long am I gonna live? Maybe like 10, 15 more years? I'm just kind of hoping that the mouse will last as long as I last. And then I won't have to worry about replacing the mouse. Because, yeah, my hand is, like, so accustomed to it, I can't imagine having to get used to another mouse at this point in my life. Just the side buttons give you more keybinds. So if you see all the F keys I have here, like I'm not hitting these function keys on my keyboard. These function keys are mapped to my mouse. So I'm just pressing my mouse with my thumb whenever I hit any of these function keys. Up here, these are shift functions. So for these, I hit shift and then I press a button on the mouse. And like I can only hit like tilde through 4, like natively on the keyboard. So the MMO mouse helps me like have more keybinds. It basically changed my life. Like playing WoW was a pretty miserable experience before I got this mouse, and like it got more miserable every single expansion, because every single expansion they just, you know, classes had more and more abilities, there were more and more buttons you had to push. So like every expansion started to make WoW like more and more painful for me to actually play. Like, my friend was like, oh, use R and T and G and H. And I'm like, dude, I can't hit that shit. He's like, what about 5, 6, and 7? I'm like, I can't reach 5, 6, and 7 without looking at the keyboard. And so finally I figured out that, like, side buttons on the mouse were the way to go. And this mouse made it so I actually enjoy playing the game. Whereas I had really come to detest, like, all the button pushing. I think it was one of the reasons why, like, by Wrath of the Lich King, I was fine just being a healer. Because being a healer, I felt I had less buttons that I really had to worry about in most situations. So it, like, minimized the amount of keybinds I needed. The Red Dragon 908 has 12 side buttons. That's Naga, right? Is that a Naga? Razor something? hey, look at that. Hey, the rain stopped. We've been here long enough that we have seen the weather actually change before our eyes. I don't feel like I'm often in a zone when the weather transitions. So that was pretty neat. It's certainly a different vibe with rain or without rain. With rain, it looks a lot more like Darkshore. We're out of bananas, but I have fish. Spine fin halibut. Yeah, it really did limit visibility, didn't it? It was hard to see. Now that I can see, I realize just how much trouble I was having seeing before. I keep seeing a rogue. I wonder if I can, like, get this person to come clear this camp. Like, maybe they'll just make their way in that direction. They are level 60, so they could certainly clear that camp for us so we can get to the Cauldron. But that's actually quite a ways back that way. Red Dragon's the company. See, I know nothing about these peripheral companies. Like, basically all I use is Logitech. How did we aggro the Den Watcher? You saw this guy, right? This guy was way back here, and somehow we aggroed him from that distance. That's actually crazy. Admiral's Arms, thank you so much for the $10 super chat, man. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday. Thanks for spending some of it here with us. That's awesome. Tim, thank you for the $5. And for the reminder, if you guys are having a good time hanging out, pushing the like button actually does help out quite a bit. That's what tells the algorithm to show the content to more people, and that is what helps us grow our community. Look at this. Like, he might help us with this. I bet I can come over here and pull this guy. No, I can't do that. Oh gosh. Well, it was a nice thought. No, he's out. He's not gonna help us. It was a good thought though. I thought for like one shining moment, I thought like maybe we get this quest done. I think it's gonna be a quest that we don't complete. Do I want to keep farming these guys, or do I want to go do something else? I am not sure. I'm having a very, like, just an ambivalent day. Where I really don't know what I want to do. Yeah, there's ore back there too. I'm not going to be able to clear to it. No, there's no way to handle it when 4 guys are all chained together. You have to have multiple people. Or maybe if we were level 60 we could do it, but... at the level we're at, we're just going to have to leave it. That's fun. We had a druid mind control us once. Back in Stranglethorn, he mind controlled us and then he gave us Mark of the Wild and Thorns. Thought that was a pretty cool use of mechanics. So I decided to go back to the south here and turn in these corrupted crystals. This run is painful. This is an insane run. It looks fine, but then like it's not. It's a very long run. And then we don't have a quick way back. I might actually end up running back down to Astronar and then just flying north. I feel like that might even be faster. Especially if we can like bypass the mountains here. Because yeah, the run is not, it's not good. It's almost not worth it to go turn this quest in and pick up the follow-up. Because in the time that it's going to take me to run all the way down here, like, I could have farmed up a lot more than 4,800 XP. That's the crappy part. Let's go check out what level the guys are back here. And see if this is like any smoother to farm, or if it's even worth it, or if we want to do something else. Okay, they're all dead, so I guess like that kind of answers that question. And here's some live ones. Level 49. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's okay. These ones still have the healing curse. I was hoping to avoid the healing curse, but apparently they all have it. We're sort of farming for rep, we're sort of just farming for XP. We're sort of just doing this because I don't really have any other thoughts on what I'm feeling like very ambivalent today about how I want to approach things and what I want to be doing, and so I'm just doing this so I can keep any kind of momentum. It looks like the rep is going to be really slow. And so I'm not super sold on like farming the rep all the way up, because it looks like it's going to take an eternity. Yeah, even after turning in a bunch of the feathers, like it's barely moved, so we'll do this for a little bit longer and then maybe we'll change tracks. These guys are so low level, like yeah, they're pretty easy to fight. We can do multiple pulls before we have to stop. I don't know if the XP is worth it. We had some ore out to the west. I'll go have a look after I kill these guys. Yeah, we could go into the burning steps, might be a good idea. I'll have to double check on the level of the quest out that way. Also, we kind of have a full quest log, so we'd probably have to drop some stuff if we wanted to go do that. I might just go back to Winter Spring and start working on a couple things. I don't know. we got some true silver over here. Let's go try to get that. Oscar, thanks for saying so, and thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, but it was Ashenvale ore. I don't care about Ashenvale ore. It was probably iron. Something like that. Alright, I'm gonna put myself in flight and I will be right back. I gotta go AFK for a second.
May the stars
Alright, we're gonna go check out the Yeti quest. See if that's something we can do, see what level they are. We have Winterfall activity, but I think Winterfall activity, some of those guys might be a little bit too high of a level, so... We'll check out the Yeti, and if we can't do that, or once we finish, then we'll go back to Eastern Kingdoms. And we'll try to start some things either in the Burning Steppes, or maybe in the Western Plaguelands. Level 55, 56, 58. Well, let's see how hard they hit. Thoughts on my viewers dressing up as me for Halloween? Please don't. Yeah. That'd be pretty weird. I also am not dressing up for Halloween, so... I haven't dressed up for Halloween since I was like 13 or 14. Yeah, I don't even think I liked dressing up back when I was young. Not, you know, when I was like 8 or 9, I probably liked it. By the time I was 12 or 13, I would just put on like one of my parents' old army jackets. And I would just like, if somebody asked me what I was, I would just tell them I was a person in the army. Now give me candy. And yeah, I never really cared about it that much once I wasn't like a little kid anymore. Did I ever farm the Winter Spring Frost Saber? No. This is the first time I've been in Winter Spring in a long time. The last time I was here was in Season of Mastery. And prior to that, the last time I was here was probably in like 2005. 2005 or 2006. Yeah, we'll end up in the Plaguelands. I'm just trying to put that off for as long as possible. Because the Plaguelands are pretty rough. The questing is pretty rough. There's the mob density is kind of off the chain. I remember in Season of Mastery on my warrior, like, dying over and over and over again. It was probably like the single most frustrating time that I've ever had questing. Was the last little bit in the Plaguelands in Season of Mastery. And that was with a 40% XP bonus. So, however much time I thought I spent there, we are bound to spend more time there on this character. So I like the zones aesthetically. And I like the idea of the zones because we don't get to go there a lot. I don't get to read those quests a lot. But mechanically, it's a really tough area to quest in. Sure, we can use Exorcism, but it's like, yeah, that's fine. We can deal more damage. It just means we're going to blow through mana. So the fights will probably go a little bit faster. But our downtime will increase. Is it just you being stupid, or am I missing a few crucial spells? It could just be you, yeah. What you're not seeing is I have a macro here. So I have my Seal of Command and my Judgment macroed to the same button. So with this button, I can put up the seal, and I can judge it. I judge it, it reapplies the seal. But if you think I should have any other buttons, you're thinking about a different version of the game. And it's likely that you're thinking about a different version of the game. Or you could be stupid. I don't know your intelligence level, so I'm not really in a position to say. But I'll tell you, I'm not missing any crucial spells. Did I train? No, not yet. Whenever we go back to Eastern Kingdoms, we'll hearth back. My Hearthstone's set in Ironforge, so whenever we want to go back, we can. I'm gonna try to do this quest, and once we finish this quest, we'll head back. We have 1 out of 10 items. It's gonna be a little bit of a grind. I'm kind of disturbed that, like, at this point in the game, the Yeti's feet are longer than we are tall. That's actually, like, very disturbing to me for some reason. The toes do wiggle, not when they're dead, thankfully. But yeah, now it's like, those are toes the size of our torso. So it makes it even worse. My favorite zones haven't really changed. Eversong Woods, Elwyn Forest, Ashenvale is nice for the music and aesthetics. I like Winterspring a lot. In Classic Era, I basically like all of the zones, like, aesthetically. There are zones that suck to quest in, but aesthetically, all of the zones are good. I can't even think of what's my least favorite classic era zones. Probably Duratar. For like aesthetics, I think Duratar is kind of a boring zone. Dustwallow Marsh is awful. Dustwallow Marsh is okay. It got better in Burning Crusade when there was actually like a bunch of stuff to do. In Classic Era, you don't spend a lot of time in Dustwallow Marsh. You're there for like a little bit, and then you move on. Swamp of Sorrows kind of the same thing. Like there's not really a lot to do in Swamp of Sorrows until I don't know if they added stuff in TBC. For sure, like, obviously stuff got added in Cataclysm. Yeah, Swamp of Sorrows and Dustwallow Marsh, those are a couple of zones, like, in Classic Era where there's not a lot going on. B-Sad Dog, good afternoon, man. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, zones like Blasted Lands, Badlands, those zones are kind of, like, visually they're kind of boring. That's true. So I'm noticing the higher level Yeti do not have a chance to drop the item. I need to focus on the Ice Thistle Yeti that are level 55 and under. Level 57, level 58, they don't have the items. Yeah, I don't mind Desolus. I like it because you can go over by the coast, and there are parts of it that are not as desolate. There are parts of it with like grass and trees and foliage. There's all the stuff out by the water with the Naga that you can do. There's the demon area, which is really cool looking. I think Desolus is a really good zone. I was really happy on this character. We got to spend like quite a bit of time in Desolus through multiple visits. That was cool. Alright, I don't really know why he's running around. Maybe he was chasing a player that I didn't see? Maybe that's just what he does. Maybe he's just getting his laps in. I don't know. How many characters am I currently leveling? I'm leveling one character currently. That's how we've made it to level 54 in Classic Era. It's because except for like 8 hours that I spent on a rogue when I was getting stream sniped, we've been entirely devoted to leveling this character for like, I don't know, it feels like the last month, but maybe it hasn't quite been that long. And we're currently leveling one character. Yeah, right now we've got 7 days, 9 hours, and 12 minutes / played. Which is a lot of time. We've been level 54 for 4 hours, and we have at least another hour to go, possibly 2 hours. So we're at like 5 or 6 hours a level. Which is a lot of time to be one level. Definitely the amount of time that it took to hit cap in Classic Era was a big gatekeeper. As far as like how many people actually got to level cap. Have I had the time to do fishing? No, I haven't worked on fishing. I've kind of like stopped worrying about it. I don't really have a lot of time, like outside of the streams, to get out to go into my office, get on my computer, and play WoW. It seems like 4 or 5 hours a day is really all I can justify. Especially if I want to do anything else at all with my day. So I just never got around to it. On the Rogue, I'm gonna try to be better about opening the streams with fishing and like fishing for the first like 10 or 15 minutes of the stream. That way we're doing a little bit every day, and I don't get behind and feel like the only way to catch up is to do it off stream. I don't really want to go into the cave that much. And apparently there are the patriarchs and matriarchs back here, and they don't drop the items, so... Ilpo, have a good rest of your day. See you next time. Mr. Santa, have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next time. In Classic, certain abilities do not proc to become instant cast. Yeah, Hammer of Wrath is not an instant cast in Classic era. Hammer of Wrath is just a, you can do it when you're at 20% HP, when the mob is at 20% HP. And it's really meant to be used on runners. So if somebody's at low HP and they're running away, that's the ideal time to use Hammer of Wrath. Because it takes a lot of mana. Spamming it, hitting it every time it's up, it really isn't worth it. Sometimes I hit it for a change of pace. We need some good RNG, a blue. I would take some good RNG that would just drop the quest items that we need. Oh, this is fun. I don't know where the fuck those guys came from. Maybe they were just like lurking right behind the stone that we can see here. Oh no, the hunter pulled them onto us. Oh, that was nice of him. Yeah, somehow the hunter dropped them all on. Oh, he must have feigned death. Yeah, he came out here, and he came out here with a chain, and then he feigned death right about here. And since I was nearby, well, I mean, I got all the aggro. Luckily, the graveyard is not very far away. Classic aggro never used to work like this. This is something they broke with either Hardcore or Season of Discovery. In actual Classic, the only way you would get on another player's aggro chain is if you healed them, they heal you, you buff them, they buff you. You had to actually do something, take an action, or if you attack one of their mobs. Like, you would have to do something to get onto the aggro chain. And ever since Hardcore and Season of Discovery, it doesn't matter. If another player takes mobs and the mobs get near you, and that player drops those mobs or leashes them, the mobs are going to come for you. If they passed you or near you, you could see them, then they're coming for you. And that's not how aggro works. It was never how aggro worked. But now it's how aggro works. Yeah, thanks to Hardcore, thanks to Sod, thanks to all the little tweaks that they do behind the scenes without ever posting a patch note, without ever making it public. It's shit like that that slowly changes like how the game plays and how the game feels forever after that. Yeah, you would have to do something to get on their chain. Typically, the easiest way would be like if I were to buff you or heal you, you had enemies on you, now I'm on that aggro chain. But like shit like that, where he ran out here, he feigned death, and instead of the mobs leashing immediately, they should have immediately ran back to their spawn points. Instead, I was nearby, so they aggroed me. The funny thing is, after I died, they started to chase him again. My gloves are almost broken. Yeah, that's fine. They can break all the way before I really care about it. Next time we're back in town, we'll try to repair them. I don't plan to make any changes to the spec right now. The only thing I thought about doing, I thought about taking the points from Eye for an Eye out. But I don't really have anywhere useful to spend these points anyway. Even if I put them into Divine Intellect, we're not stacking Intellect gear, so that's going to yield very, very little of an actual benefit. So I'm probably not going to respec. I think the build that we have going on is fine. I want to keep Pursuit of Justice. Yeah, it's just these 2 points right here. But again, I don't have anything valuable to do with those points anyway. Why do you keep seeing level 60s outside dead mines? Yeah, they're boosting people. Yep. Yep, I think stockades also. Stockades is one that you see a lot of stockades boosts go out. Oh my god, we're done with the quest. Man, LFG is dead. Completely dead. Alright, I'm gonna hearth us back to Ironforge. We can train level 54, we can empty our bags, and then maybe we'll try to check things out in the Burning Steppes. I'll have to refresh myself on exactly how one gets to the Burning Steppes. Because I don't remember. Maybe we have to go through the Badlands? I don't know. Did I sell the blue patterns? Absolutely vendored them. Yep, they're not going to sell for anything on the auction house here. Nope, they're not going to sell. I'm gonna keep trying to sell them. They're going to end up in my mailbox. I'm going to forget them in my mailbox. 28 days later, they're going to be deleted from the mailbox. And so I'd rather just vendor them and at least get some coin out of them. We were getting like 6 or 7 gold a stack over on White Mane. Now it looks like we're down to 4 gold a stack for Mage Weave. Which means Rune Cloth is going to be basically worthless. Yeah, 2 gold a stack. There we go. The current weight stones I have need silk, which we stopped getting a long time ago. And I haven't trained the next rank to get any other kinds of stones. Alright, let's go train level 54. Oh, you know what? Somebody told me that fell cloth can sell. Let's see how much fell cloth sells for. I would assume it's not going to sell for very much. Oh, that's not bad. 9 gold. I wonder how much it would have sold for on Whitemane. It's probably like 20 gold a piece on Whitemane. 966. We'll do 950. There we go.
How are you? See you soon. Safe travels. Great to meet you. Be good.
If I could find someone that sells reagents, I could use the Greater Blessings, which would be awesome. But they don't have anybody here that sells reagents in this area. You would think this would be a good place for one. There's a wands merchant. Alright, so let's have a look. Okay, so the Burning Steps, we want to go to Red Ridge. Red Ridge will get us in the Burning Steps. This might be another zone that doesn't have a flight point, which is kind of gross. Level 56, level 52. That's 2 quests. That's an elite quest. Level 52. And then a couple of elite quests. Yeah, there's a lot of elite quests here. There's very little non-elite. We'll go do what we can, but it's not going to be very lucrative. It does have a flight point. I don't see a flight point on the map, so like maybe I'm just missing it. Maybe the flight point is being covered up by like a vendor, because I don't see a flight point indicator here. I know there's one in later versions of the game, but I don't know. We'll see when we get there, I guess. It's covered up by another icon. Makes sense.
What can I do for you? Keep your feet.
That looks like a 5-minute flight. I am going to step away for a bit while we travel. I'll be back. This is the Mankrik server. Still no ding? Yeah, it's like 10 hours a level at this point. It's like, we get a level every 3 days that we play. Probably from here on out, unless things like drastically increase. I might have to get some rested XP at some point. For the last 5 levels. Yeah, we'll try to catch a repair here. Until it breaks. You don't lose anything until it breaks. Once it breaks, then you lose the stats, but when it's yellow, that's just like a warning.
What's on your mind? Safe travel.
You're leveling on Deviant Delight? You poor soul. Chat, let's say a prayer for Druzy. He's leveling on Deviant Delight. Our thoughts are with you. Is it bad? I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter. I'm just taking the piss out of it. It's a dead server, so I mean, in the sense that the server's dead, I guess that's bad. If you're in an active guild, it's probably fine. But I'm just taking the piss out of the Deviant Delight fresh start. The community-led fresh start that didn't actually happen. I mean, I myself wasted 50 hours of my life playing a warrior on Deviant Delight, so yeah, it's a bummer. Nice, there we go.
What can I do for you?
There's the flight point. Okay, so what can we do? We can grab this one, 50. 50 Blackrock medallions.
See you soon. Be good.
And then extinguish the fire guts.
See you soon.
Slay some ogres.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Quest log is full. Alright, let's drop this one. Let's drop this one.
Well met. Be good. Safe travels. See you soon.
And let's just go work on these. We'll do these two, we'll finish these ones, and then we'll see what else we want to do in the zone. Yeah, Mankrik is PvE. Mm-hmm. John Rex, good afternoon, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Is Deviant Delight heavily populated? No. But is Mankrik heavily populated? No. But the difference is Mankrik shares a cluster with other servers. And I'm pretty sure Deviant Delight being RP PvP, I don't think it shares a cluster with anything else. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Unless it's clustered together with, like, the one other RP PvP roam, but I don't think there are multiple RP PvP roams. So I'm pretty sure Deviant Delight is on its own. Do I prefer questing instead of raiding or doing dungeons? I mean, I like dungeons. But in Classic Era, the opportunity does not arise very often. When I play Cataclysm, we do a ton of dungeons. Yeah, I like 5-man stuff. Raids are like typically too big, there's too much organization, and I'm never online during times of the day when people raid. So these days I don't care about raids as much. I had my time as a raider back in my 20s, and I'm fairly satisfied with that time. Have I tried to play as a hunter? Yeah, we played hunter. I have a level 42 hunter that we actually played during hardcore. Ultimately, I'm not really a pet class kind of person. In hardcore it made sense because it really helped us stay alive. But typically I avoid pet classes. looks like we got dark iron back here. I don't really need the dark iron, but I could use the skill up, so I'm gonna fight my way to the back of this cave. Do I have plans for gearing this character and rating at 60? No. I don't. If you're one-shotting mobs and you are level 35, then you're not fighting mobs close to your level. There's not a single class in Classic Era that can even one-shot green mobs. So if you're level 35 and you're one-shotting mobs, then I would check their level, because it's very likely you're fighting gray mobs that are like 15, 20 levels beneath you. Because even if the mob is green to you, indicated by the color here, see how we have a green color for the level number? Even if a mob is green to you, there isn't a class that can one-shot green enemies in Classic Era. Not at level 35. So I'd say you might want to check what version you're playing, and then you might want to check the level of the mobs. Oh, you said retail WoW in Classic Era. Okay. My brain deleted the word retail. You meant you're playing retail. Okay. And you're doing a time walking campaign. Gotcha. And you're not playing, you can't play Classic Era in retail. That's why my brain deleted the word retail. You can do Cataclysm time walking, but there is no way to do Classic Era time walking in retail. It doesn't, the content doesn't exist. The closest you can get is to do Cataclysm time walking. And so if you're doing Cataclysm time walking and you're level 35, yeah, in retail you can one-shot stuff. Yep. But yeah, the reason why my brain didn't see the word retail in that sentence is because I saw Classic Era, and there is no WoW retail Classic Era. The funny thing about retail, I was watching a Bellular video today, and there's been a bug in retail where players cannot die. Players are immortal while they're leveling up, and they also have bloodlust while they're leveling up. So if you're leveling up a character in retail right now and you're doing like the new player experience, you have an additional 40% haste. And also, unless they fixed it as of this week, once you get to 0 HP, you will simply go right back to full HP. Because the new player experience and the leveling in retail WoW is completely fucking broken beyond repair. It's completely broken. Every player gets a free bloodlust, permanent bloodlust buff, and if you manage to get to 0 HP, you simply get all your HP back. It's totally busted. Do I want to fight back here for the mithril? I mean, I have to fight my way out of the cave anyway, so sure, why not? Yeah, if you guys are interested, you should look into it. It's actually wild how broken leveling is for a new player experience in retail right now. And then what happens is, like, you have this permanent bloodlust buff, and you're basically immortal until you get to the War Within content. And then you get to the War Within content, and suddenly, for a new player, it must feel like hitting an absolute brick wall. Or, like, you know, you obviously don't have the bloodlust buff anymore. And then suddenly you can be killed. So yeah, I think that's what we call fucked up beyond all repair. Like, just imagine being a new player trying to get into WoW right now in 2024. And like how ultimately bad it would feel. I don't understand what the point is of, like, even having a game or continuing to grow a game that literally can't bring in any new players. Like, why even bother with a game that's so fucking busted that new players can't play it? Or they play it up until a point, and then they reach like a weird threshold where nothing makes any sense. It seems so ridiculous that wouldn't be like the most important thing to get right. Like, how does a new player feel playing the game? That's the most important fucking thing you can do. If you're trying to grow a game and support a game and you want to have a game that's going to last another 20 years, the most important thing is what it feels like to be a new player who picks up your game and tries to play it. And they've created such a horrible experience. It basically defies all fucking logic. And they're like, we're looking into trying to fix it. we're looking into fixing it. Oh, you're looking into fixing it. Great. Oh yeah, if you're a new player, don't play classic, or don't play retail. Right now you have a bloodlust buff that's like 40% additional haste. As a new player, you don't really know what that means, but it means you're incredibly much more powerful than you would already be. And in retail, you're overpowered anyway. So the fact that they took it and they gave every player like the buff for 40% haste on top of how powerful you already were is completely broken. And what's going to happen is you're going to feel really, really, really strong. And then you're gonna hit a brick wall. You're gonna get into the new content, and suddenly you're gonna hit an absolute brick wall. Your gear's not gonna be good enough to progress. You're gonna lose your 40% haste buff that you didn't even know that you had, and it's gonna feel really bad. If it doesn't already feel bad one-shotting every single enemy, which in my opinion that's like the worst thing a game could do, is to trivialize every single combat that you get into. If it doesn't already feel bad, it's going to get worse. It's gonna get worse. Yeah, that's the other thing about retail, is like nobody who picks up retail and goes into Dragonflight knows what the fuck is going on. Like, if you're a new player, you do Exile's Reach, and then the game shits you out into Dragonflight, And if you've never played WoW before, like, you don't know what the fuck is happening. You don't know why you're where you're at. You don't know what's going on, why you're doing the things you're doing. None of the real systems of the game are explained to you in any way. And on top of not having any of the systems or flow of the game explained to you, you are this incredibly powerful character that's going to be that way for 60 levels until that suddenly stops. It's a complete mess. It's so shameful, like how the game is to be a new player trying to get into the game. Yeah, if you're one-shotting mobs as you level, how are you supposed to learn the class? Exactly. Do you know how they want you to learn the class? They want you to go to fucking Wowhead and read a guide. And then they want you to go watch some class videos. And then they want you to go stand at a target dummy. Don't know what a target dummy is? Well, you better find out. Because you're going to be spending a lot of time standing at one, trying to figure out what your rotation is supposed to be. Because your rotation for leveling has been doing one ability and killing every mob with it. Yeah, it's shameful. They say they're working on it, but they're not working on it. They chose to give everybody the 40% haste. So how could they say they're working on making it better? Because that's the kind of shit they think is making it better. They think giving every player a 40% haste buff while they level up is making the game better. That's how we know it's never going to be any good. I'm pretty sure there are no target dummies in Classic Era. I'm 90% sure there are not target dummies. I'm willing to be wrong, but I don't think there are. And if you're a new player to WoW, you still don't know what that is. Should you start Classic now? I would say, like, there's probably not going to be a Classic fresh start. But I would say, like, maybe if there is going to be a Classic fresh start, it would probably be in November. So I would say, like, maybe try it out now, but probably don't get too heavily invested in any character on any server until November happens. By the end of this month, we'll know. If you don't hear an announcement about a Classic fresh start by the end of the month, then you're not going to hear about it. Then you might as well just pick a server, make a character, and play. But yeah, I'd say don't get too invested until October passes. And then we'll know if they're planning any kind of fresh start. Or if they're planning anything at all for Classic Era. I don't think they are. I don't think we're going to see a Classic Era fresh start or any kind of fresh start for Classic. I think for Classic you're gonna see Cataclysm content. You're gonna see Cataclysm become Mist of Pandaria. And then you're gonna see some more Season of Discovery content. I think that's all that's on the menu. I don't think they're planning anything else, honestly. There are, but you can't target them. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. There are no targetable target dummies in Classic Era. In Classic Era, you can't go to a dummy and do your rotation on it. I don't think those got added until Wrath of the Lich King.
I supply only the finest goods.
What's on your mind? Be good.
Find Gortesh somewhere to the west of Dreadmaul Rock, kill Gortesh, and then take Gortesh's lopped off head.
Safe travels. Keep your feet on the ground.
Oh, he's somewhere over this way. Target dummies were introduced during the trial of the Crusader. Yeah, maybe. It was sometime in Wrath. I don't know exactly when. Wowhead says 4.0. No, that would have been Wrath of the Lich King, right? No. Yeah, maybe it was Kata. I don't know. Either way. All I know for sure is they weren't in Classic Era. At this point, there's 76 different versions of the game, and now history will be forever be diluted, and we'll never know what history was really like because it's always being rewritten. You're wondering if we should go play Guild Wars 2. I mean, I don't know. I don't play enough Guild Wars 2 to know if it's a better game than Retail WoW. From my experience, like starting Guild Wars 2 and like playing it as a new player, Guild Wars 2 feels a little bit more coherent. Like the start of the game as a new player in Guild Wars 2 feels coherent. The stuff I'm doing makes sense to me. I'm not lost. I'm not confused. I make a character, I start leveling up. Everything was pretty easy to understand, like the objectives and things that I could do. And so yeah, like new player experience, I would have to say Guild Wars 2 probably has a better new player experience. And now I don't know what the end game is like for Guild Wars 2. So like that's a different matter. But yeah, as far as like getting into a game, I feel like every other MMO on the market does a better job of crafting a more sensical new player experience than World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft's new player experience almost seems intentionally fucking obtuse to purposely turn people off. It's so bad that it's hard to believe it's not intentional. And no other MMO is like that. Like Elder Scrolls, you start up a character, you pick a zone, you start playing the game. Everything makes sense. You're not super confused at what you're supposed to be doing. And it makes sense. Final Fantasy, same thing. Like WoW is the only modern day MMO on the market that a new player picks it up, and it's like almost every new player. They pick it up and they're just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? What's going on? Why am I one-shotting things? What are all these things on my map? And then on top of that, like, you're thrust into Dragonflight. Like, who the hell wants to be forced into Dragonflight? And then that gives you, like, the wrong idea about, like, what Warcraft is even about. It's ridiculous. You were confused starting Final Fantasy XIV? I mean, there's nothing to be confused about. You do the MSQ. You do the MSQ for 300 hours. Like, in my opinion, FF14 is, like, the simplest. Because you think, like, how do I level up? You do the MSQ. What's the MSQ? It's this quest right here. The quest is marked like this. This is what the quest looks like. You just do all these. And then step number 2, you never stop doing the MSQ. Step number 3, you hit max level. And then maybe there's things to be confused about. I don't know. But like starting up a character, you just start doing the quests. And like with Final Fantasy XIV, you're seeing the entire story. From A Realm Reborn, all the way forward, all the way through all the expansions. So like you're getting a coherent experience. Do you know how many times I have people come into the stream and they're like, Robert, what's the best way to see all of World of Warcraft's story from front to back? And I'm like, you fucking can't. You can't do it. And also, what story? But you can't do it. It's technically impossible to do it. So at least FF14 has that going for it. You can see the whole story, like front to back, and it's really easy to experience it. Whereas in World of Warcraft, like firstly, that question doesn't even apply, and then if you want to try, it's basically impossible. Is the new player experience better in WoW Classic? Yes, because in WoW Classic, you make a character, you start with a couple of abilities, usually like one ability, and then you start picking up quests. And then you keep doing quests, and there's never a confusion about like, what quest should I do? Where should I go? What's happening? What are my abilities? Why do I have 17,000 abilities? No, you get a small amount of abilities, spaced out over a long time. You go into your talent trees, and you read the talents, and they make sense. And the talents here are like one sentence. One sentence. One sentence. Here's a paragraph, because this ability does two different things. One sentence. If you go into the fucking talent trees in retail WoW, every single talent is like 3 paragraphs with 2 caveats. If this, then this. This does this, but also if this triggers, it does this. Oh, and it also affects a talent you don't have yet that you're going to have to take later. And if you don't take it, then you shouldn't have taken this talent because they directly interact with each other. And look, you made a stupid new mistake. You better go to Wowhead and find a guide because you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, Classic is just like straightforward. You make a character, you press your buttons, you read the abilities, you read the talents, you read the quest, you win. It's really easy to understand. It's basically impossible to get confused. They're not trying to obfuscate like systems from you or anything like that. They're not trying to get you to go read a guide. It's a totally different thing. John Rex, I appreciate the membership, man. Thank you. So we're supposed to be getting Blackrock medallions. Drop rate is probably pretty low. Can I take 2 of these guys at once? 2 warlocks. Let's just do that. Do I find it harder to find Sod runes or to figure out spells in retail? I don't find it hard to find Sod runes, because for Sod runes, all you do is go to Wowhead and you look up a guide on how to find the rune. So it's like the same thing. And the reason that is because the people that worked on Sod are basically people who should be working on retail, and they should never have touched Classic, because they're just more of the same type of person. They're like more retail developers. If we had free respecs in Classic, would it be Classic? No, it wouldn't, unfortunately. No, if you had free respecs in Classic, that wouldn't be very Classic. Just like if you had dual spec in Classic, it would no longer really be Classic. As much as I like dual spec, it doesn't really have a place in Classic era. Oh, this guy drops 7 medallions. Okay, so they're not just dropping 1 each. They have a chance to drop several medallions. This guy drops 7. Less than a bubble to go to 55. Yeah, only 3 more hours to go. This isn't a human paladin. You're not a human paladin. Possibly even a human. There is dual spec in Classic, though. Not in Classic era, and that's what I fucking said. You do know there's a difference between Classic era and Cataclysm Classic, right? Yes, there is. You're fucking stupid. Go away. You're fucking dumb. It's okay. It's okay to not know something. It's not okay to be totally fucking wrong and belligerently stick to your guns. You're wrong, do some research, but in the meantime, fuck off. You sound like my fucking 9-year-old, but there is though! But there is! I swear there is! I'm playing Classic and I have dual spec. There is dual spec. And then someone says, not in Classic era. No, there is. You're either 9 or you're retarded. Or both, yeah, or both those things. Which is entirely possible, yeah. He's drinking Classic Coke? He's drinking lead paint. These guys are not as fun to grind as the ogres. The ogres were much squishier. We have 12 out of 50. I don't know if I'm going to grind out all 50 of these today. That seems like a little bit of a stretch. I think 17 more kills and I think we hit level 55. And then we'll reassess our lives. I live in Michigan, so no, that doesn't affect me at all. We have family in Florida, but they evacuated. How's it going? It's going all the way to level 55. That's how it's going. Hopefully soon. Oh, we got mail from the auction house. We must have sold some of the cloth that we put up. We got a small thorium vein over here. Let's go grab that. You know what? If we go turn in this one quest that we did for the Gortash's head, we can just ding. We can ding, and that's our goal for today. Is it okay if you personally prefer playing retail? Absolutely. Yeah, everybody should just play the version of the game they like. I had to accept that they're not making retail for me anymore. And that's it. I am not their target audience, and so it makes sense that I don't like it. And so if someone is their target audience and you're having fun, then absolutely only play the games you have fun playing. That's the whole point of games. Just to have a good time. I do have a Discord, but I don't think a lot of people are playing Classic Era. Most of the people in my Discord are playing Cataclysm. We have a thriving Cataclysm guild that seems to raid, like, a lot. They do a lot of raiding. And that's where my Discord is most active. How that happened, I have no idea. But yeah, my Discord is mainly people playing Cataclysm. And they seem to really, really enjoy that.
Well met. See you soon. Safe travels.
And that is level 55. We have 5 levels to go, otherwise known as about 80 more hours of gameplay. So yeah, we got lots to do still. I'm really thinking that we need some rested XP. I just don't know the best way to go about getting the rested XP. Because I'm hesitant to play any other alts. I'm hesitant to play any alts. So I'm not really sure. If we go for the last 5 levels without any rested XP, then I think that's like if I'm not exaggerating. If I'm not exaggerating, I would say it's probably going to take us about 50 hours. A link to the Discord should be in the stream description, and then you'll have to go through a little verification process to prove you're not a bot, and then you should be good to go. So yeah, I'm not sure what we do from here. We could just keep pushing and just push and push. Like I said, it's going to be about 50 hours to get to cap.
Well met.
You got my attention.
Bank the ore? Yep, that's a good idea. Let's go do that. A hardcore run? Oh god, no. You will not see me back in hardcore unless they do a fresh start server. And like, even if they did a fresh start server, I would go play hardcore, but I don't know if I'd be very happy about it. Yeah, I don't know if I would do it if it was a fresh start, but I don't think I'd be very happy with it. Cause I played hardcore for like 11 months straight. I'm kind of over it.
You got my attention.
Kind of over it. Rumors are November. Yeah, rumors are. What I heard is that someone told me the OnlyFans, the guild OnlyFans, they're doing a community fresh start in November. A community fresh start is not the same as like a full-blown actual fresh start server. After Deviant Delight, I won't be doing any more community fresh starts. So even if this guild, like whatever they are, even if they like do a fresh start hardcore, like I won't be doing that. Deviant Delight showed me that community-led fresh starts are a waste of time. So unless it's an actual new server that opens up, I'm not interested. Did I have silk in my bag? I'll have to check. Or in my bank, rather. What I want to see is if there's any weapons on the auction house. Still nothing. Yeah, I don't think we're getting... Ooh, look how cheap it is, though. Damn. See, if only it had been this cheap when we were level 44. That would have been awesome. I don't think there's anything else for us. $2.6. No, that's not going to cut it. 2.8. That's not going to cut it. No, there's nothing else for us. I guess the next weapon is the AV. Yeah, the AV weapon. I'm not going to do that today, but yeah. Maybe sometime over the weekend we'll do it. Maybe we'll try to do some AV over the weekend. Alright, guys. I'm done for today. I think this is a good place to stop for now. We hit level 55. We're not going to make any more substantial progress today. Tomorrow, maybe we'll step foot into the Western Plaguelands and try to feel out if we can do any of the beginning stuff in the Western Plaguelands, or if we need to focus on Winter Spring, or if we need to focus on grinding. And then maybe over the weekend we'll try doing some AV Battlegrounds. See if we can figure out how to get the weapon upgrade. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thank you all so much for being here and for the support. I truly do appreciate it. I hope you have a good rest of your afternoon or evening. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you back here tomorrow. Bye for now.